Okay, going to Chicago. It was a cold fall morning, like about 3 a.m. when my dad dropped my mom and I off at the train station in Pontiac, Michigan. I was so excited, not only because it was my first time going to Chicago, but it was my first time riding on a train. I was puzzled because I didn't know when the train was going to come or where the station was. Up until the other day, I found out that there was not a station part for this train. Anyways, we waited about 5 minutes and then the train finally arrived. I was excited and scared all at the same time. First off, because it was dark. Secondly, there was strange people, not a lot of them, but just strange. When we got onto the train, my mom helped me settle into a seat. I bought my favorite throw blanket. I only stayed awake long enough to hear the train take off. But when I awoke, the train ride was far from over. This was the longest agonizing ride ever, spanning a whole 6 hours. It took so long because the train stopped about 80 times before we finally arrived in Chicago. When we arrived, I was speechless. All the tall buildings and skyscrapers and the people. Chicago was nothing like Detroit. When we got off the train, we got a taxi to take us to the Omni Hotel. The main reason we took this trip to Chicago was to visit the American Girl doll shop. This is a store for American Girl dolls that I have been collecting, one each Christmas since I was 8, which would make it 3 years because at this time I was 11 years old. The 3 of my dolls were Addie, Kit, and Josephina. When I went to the store, I was so overwhelmed. This store had literally thousands of outfits and accessories for them. But my mother pointed in a direction, and when I looked, I let out a scream of excitement. It was a salon. They had real people there to do the dolls' hair. So we dropped off the dolls at the salon while I did my shopping for outfits. After about 2 hours of shopping, we picked up the dolls from the salon and went to a live play in the theater. The play was telling the stories of all the dolls live. The coolest thing was that the actresses were little girls like me. And ever since then, I knew I wanted to act. Then after that, we had brunch that was set up for us. The coolest thing is that they had high chairs for the dolls to sit at too. And that ended my day at the American Girl doll shop. That night, we went back to the hotel. My mom said I could have anything out of the mini bar, and I did just that. I had gummy bears, Hershey's, sour worms, and all sorts of pop. When it was eventually time to go to bed, there were fireworks that had went off, and we could see them from our hotel room. This ended one of the best trips ever.